Yes.
Yeah, it's better.
It's appear then it disappear or will it not appear from the first?
It appears.
It appears.
Okay. So now here we have this function. So the first step, I will go to the denumerator and I will ask myself, can I make the denominator 0? Is there a value of x can make the denominator 0? Yes.
First, should factor it.
So the first step, I have to factor it. So it was x plus 3 over x minus 3 times x minus 1 after I factor it. Now, so is there a point of discontinuity? Yes. So I will say here the points of discontinuity.
Plus 3 and 1.
It will be 3 and 1. Thank you. These are the points of discontinuity. Now then, can I remove or can I simplify the function?
No.
No. So because of that, I will name it as non non-removable function. Okay, then, so we find the points of discontinuity. We find that it is removable or non-removable. Now, what is the domain?
All real numbers except 3 and 1.
All real numbers except 3 and 1. Thank you. Now, I want now to find the x and y intercept. Habiba, where's Habiba?
Yes.
Habiba, how can I find the x-intercept of any function? Or what the, yes?
If you substitute the y with 0, it should give you the x-intercept.
Okay, thank you, Sasha. Okay, Habiba, look here now. X-intercept, it means that the y is 0. Okay, when the y is 0, I will put instead of y with the 0, then it will be x plus 3 over x squared minus 4x plus 3. Now, when y is 0, the denominator is 0 because we know that 0 over anything, 0 over anything is 0. So the y, it will be 0 if the numerator is 0. So x,
No, it's x negative 3.
plus 3 equals 0, yes. So at x equal negative 3, we have now the x-intercept. Now, what about the y-intercept?
We'll make x 0.
Exactly. Y-intercept, it means that x is 0. So I will substitute in the function with 0 plus 3 over 0 minus 4, so I mean 0 squared minus 4 times 0 plus 3. I will substitute 0 instead of x. I will put 0 instead of x to find the y-intercept. So it will be 3 over 0 minus 0 plus 3. So the answer is 1. So the y-intercept at point 0.
Teacher, in the x-intercept, why are we going to the denominator?
Okay, because here why we use? Because if you want y equals 0, y equals 0, it means that the numerator 0 or the denominator 0. Because can I say 0 over 1 equals 0? Yes. But can I say 1 over 0 is equal to 0? No. It is undefined. So if I want y to be 0, so the only solution or the only thing that I have to do is to make the numerator 0. Because the denominator cannot be 0, because any number over 0 is undefined. So to make at any rational function, I want to make an y equals 0, I must have to put the p of x, or to find the p of x, the zeros of p of x. The 0 of the p of x can help me to find the y-intercept, but the 0 of the q of x can help me to find the asymptotes, the vertical asymptotes that I will talk about later on. Okay?
So teacher, if we have x plus 3 times x minus 3, we will have 2 y-intercepts.
X plus 3 over x minus 3.
No,
just like
x
this?
Plus, no, x plus 3 times x minus 3. Yeah, we will have 2 y-intercepts.
So here, if you have x plus 3 times x minus 3 over x minus 3, do you have, it's cancelled, yes. Do you have what? X-intercept?
No, teacher, without the x minus 3 in the numerator. Like if it's x plus 4.
Here it is x plus 4.
Yeah, so the x plus 3 and x minus 3 will have 2 y-intercepts.
Yes. Yes, here I can say that we have 2 y-intercepts at point 3, 0, and at point negative 3, 0. Okay. Now, let's do B. At B here, y equal x minus 5 over x squared plus 1. I want now to find the points of discontinuity. Before I look about it, I have to look at the denominator. Is the denominator equal 0? Can we have any point of x?
No.
No.
Can make the denominator 0? No. So because that it is no, I will say that there's no point of discontinuity. So it will be a continuous graph. So the domain here, it will be what?
All real numbers.
All real numbers.
Real numbers. So what is the domain will be? All real numbers. Now, the last thing, we found the point of discontinuity. We cannot say that it is removable or non-removable because it's not it is not a discontinuous graph. We will find the domain. Now we have to find the x-intercept.
What about the range?
Which is x equals 5.
And the y-intercept. Now, the x-intercept here, how can I find the x-intercept? When y is 0. When y is 0, let's go here. 0 equal x minus 5 over x squared plus 1. When the y is 0, if the numerator is 0. So at point 5. What about now the y-intercept? the y-intercept, it means that x is 0.
X is 0, yeah.
So 0 and something. Here, go now and substitute x with 0. So it will be, I will write here, 0 minus 5 over 0 squared plus 1. Negative 5 over 1 is negative 5. So these are now the y-intercept and the x-intercept. Now let's go solve C now. For C, here we have this function. The first step, I will look at the denominator. Can the denominator be 0?
Yes.
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 When
Yes.
X is 4.
When x equals 4.
Yes, so the points of discontinuity is at x equals 4. What about the domain?
All real numbers
All
except
real
numbers.
All real numbers except
All.
4.
Real numbers except 4. Thank you. Now, after that, I want to check if it is removable or non-removable discontinuity. How? I will go back and I will factor the numerator. Can I? Yes. It will be x minus 4 times x plus 1 minus 4x plus x is negative 3x. Okay. Over x minus 4. Can I simplify it? Yes. So I will name
So
it
it
with
is removable.
removable discontinuity. The last thing now, I want now to find the x-intercept.
It is at negative 1, 0.
Y-intercept. The x-intercept means y is 0. Go back. 0 equal x minus 4 times x plus 1. Now, when you have two functions that are multiplied and they are equal to 0, so that means that one of them will be 0. How? If you have 4 multiplied by 0, it's equal to what? 0. And 0 multiplied by 3, it is 0. So if you multiply, if the product of two numbers is 0, so it means that one of the numbers is 0. Like here, the first number is 0 or the second number is 0. So here are the functions will have the same. If you multiply two terms with each other and the answer is 0, so that means that one term will be 0. So x minus.
Get what you said. Can you repeat?
Okay.
How did you say the product?
Rose, it is the zero product property. We took it when we talked about quadratic
I
functions.
know, but here, Peter, what do you mean about the product? From where 4 times 0 and like that?
Now, forget the functions. Go back. If you multiply 3, or I'm sorry, if you have 3 multiplied by any number, like this, and the answer is 0. And if you have any number multiplied by 4, and the answer is 0. If you multiply any number with 2, and the answer is 0. Okay? We go to the first one now. 3. If I multiply 3 with what's the number? That if I multiply it with a 3, I will get 0.
0.
0. And what's the number? That if I multiply it with 4, I will get 0. 0 also.
0.
And number that if I multiply it with 2, I will get 0. 0 also. So if I multiplied two numbers and the answer is 0, that means what one of the numbers is must to be 0. So it could be the second one or the first one. The functions now, you have the same. If you multiplied two functions and the answer is 0, that means the first one, it could be 0, like 0 multiplied by x plus 1 equals 0, or the second one, it could be 0, so the 0 multiplied by x minus 4 equals 0. So if you have two functions that are multiplied and the answer is 0, so one of them will be 0. The first one or the second one. X minus 4 equals 0, so x equal 4. And x plus 1 equals 0, so x here it will be what? -1. So the x-intercept, it has 2 points. At point 4, 0 and at point -1, 0. Now, I want now to find the y-intercept. To find now the y-intercept, I said y-intercept, it means that when x is 0. When x is 0, I will go back the function. 0 squared minus 3 times 0 minus 4 over 0 minus 4. It will be -4 over -4. So the answer is 1. So the y-intercept at 0, 1. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in Gadget 1, I want now to find the domain, the points of discontinuity. Are the points removable or non-removable? And what are the x and y intercepts? Now, let's choose. Sarah. Sarah?
Yes.
Sarah, I want you to solve this gadget, okay? I will let you to, I will, do you have any paper, please, with you?
Yes.
Okay, try to solve it. I will give you 1 minute. After that, you have to tell me the answer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you. Mama. Yes, Sarah. Here, the first step, I look at the denominator. Can the denominator be 0? Sarah? Did you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yes, Sarah.
The domain is all real numbers.
See, the first step, I will try to find or to factor the denominator. X squared minus 16. Can it be 0? Can this function be 0?
No.
Is there any point? Why not? See here, x squared minus 16. I will put the 16 in the other term. So x squared equals 16. Is there any point or any number that if you multiply it by the same number, will you get 16?
Yes.
What is the number? What the number will be? 2 times 2, 4. 3 times
Yes.
3. 3 times 3.
9.
9.
4 times 4.
16.
16. So to solve it, put the 2 term under square root. Now, square root of x squared equals square root of 16. So x, it could be what?
Positive, negative 4.
Now, thank you so
Negative
much.
4.
It must be, I mean, you have to know something. If I asked you about the square root of 16, it's only 4. But if I told you that x squared equals 16, x, it cannot be only 4, it must have to be positive and negative 4. Why? Because the square root of x squared, it could be positive x and negative x. The square root of a constant number is only positive 4. But the square root of variable, it have to be positive and negative 4. So don't forget, if I told you x squared equal 3, equal 9, so x, it could be positive or negative 3. But if I am asking you about the square root of 9, it is only 3. Is it clear? Okay. X squared equals 6 minus 16 equals 0. Plus 16 plus 16. So x squared equals 16. Now,
We can factor it. It will be x plus 4 times x minus 4.
yes, exactly. This is another way. You can solve it like it is like a squared minus b squared. So you can solve it like a minus b times a plus b. So x squared minus 16, I can rewrite it as x minus 4, or can I factor it as x minus 4 times x plus 4, which equal to 0. And as I said before, if I have two functions that they are multiplied and the answer is 0, so one of them will be 0. So x minus 4, it will be 0, and x plus 4, it will be 0 also. X minus 4 equals 0, that means x equals 4. And x plus 4 equals 0, That's mean x, it will be -4. So here you have two values. This is a way. The another way that I say it, and that's why I choose it to tell you about, to remind you that without factoring, if I asked you to find x squared minus 16 equals 0, you will put the x squared on term and the 16 on the other term. Now, if x squared equals 16, the x here, this means that it has to be positive and negative value. So x, it could be, what is the number, or what are the square root of 16? What is the square root of 16? It is 4. I told you that positive x, it could be 4, and negative x, it could be 4 also. Because the square root of 16 is only 4. If I asked you the square root of 25, you have to tell me that it is only 5. So the square root of 16 is what? Is only 4. But the square root of x squared, it has to be positive x and negative x. The square root of any variable square will be positive, negative x. But the square root of a constant number, it must be only positive answer. Then positive x equal 4, so that means that x is 4. And negative x equal 4, so x, it will be negative 4. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Okay, back. So the factor will be 1 over x minus 4 times x plus 4. Then, so what are the points of discontinuity?
At x equals 4 and x equals -4.
At x equal 4 and x equal -4. Thank you, Safsan. Now, what about the domain?
All real numbers except
4 and -4.
Thank you. All real numbers except 4 and -4. Now, where's Yara?
Yes.
Yara? Yes, Yara. Is this function is a removable or this function, does it have removable or non-removable discontinuity?
Non-removable.
Non-removable. Thank you. Can you tell me why? Because I cannot remove the function. I cannot simplify the function in the numerator with the denominator. Since it is non-removable function, so it will be, if the points, it will be non-removable points. The last thing, what are the X-intercepts?
There is no X-intercept.
X-intercept, that
There
means
is no
what?
X-intercept.
1
Thank
0.
you. X-intercept, so the y is 0. Go back here. 0 is equal 1 over something. Can 0 be 1? No. There's no variable can to make the 1 to be 0. It's not variable. So I would say that there's no X-intercept.
Can you repeat this point? That's 0.
Okay. Because the next lesson I started. I want now to find the X-intercept. So the X-intercept, that means y is 0. Y is 0, so I will go back to the function and I say what is if y is 0, it has to be 1 over x squared minus 16. Okay? Find the denominator here. Before that, I told you if x minus 1 equals 0, so there's a point of x can make the numerator 0. Here, if I take 0 equal 1, is it a correct equation? Is it a correct statement? No. So I will say that there's no X-intercept. Now what about now the Y-intercept?
It is
It's 1 over
4, 0 and negative 4, 0.
Yes, 1 by 1. Y-intercept, it means that x is 0. So 1, I will substitute in the function. It will be 1 over 0 squared, which is 0, minus 16. So it is negative 1 over 16. So the Y-intercept is 0, negative 1 over 16. Okay now?
Yes.
Is everything clear?
Yes.
Okay.